Come on in, everyone. Good evening, good evening. We are live right now. Yes, I think we are all good. I have a different spot for us tonight. Yes, come on in, everyone. We are going to do the second part of sounding the alarm. And so I'm excited for tonight. And yeah, I did not get to come on last week, but I am so happy to be on this week. And tonight was a good night to do it, so we're just going to dive right in. I want to say, go ahead and check out my Kingdom Coaching course on my website, monicafaithstrong.com. And go ahead, like, comment, and share on this video, and we will get into it. I'm going to recap first on our first part, I guess, our first episode of Sounding the Alarm. So it was based on Jeremiah 15, 7, and 8. And I'm just going to read a part of it. Or maybe I'll read just what I read last time. I will winnow them with a winnowing fork at the city gates of the land. I will bring bereavement and destruction on my people, for they have not changed their ways. I will make their widows more numerous than the sand of the sea. At midday I will bring a destroyer against the mothers of their young men. And God was doing this because he was saying something to the Israelites. And what he was saying was, return to me. And I believe that that is a word for today, and that is what we're talking about. And so I had shared last time that there was so many, sudden deaths in my community and in my family. And what is God saying? That's where I went. I got on my knees and I just asked God, what are you saying to me? And that is what he said. He said, I want you to return to me. And I want you to seek my face. I want you to know me. I want to know you. Okay? And so the key question when tragic things happen, anything really, not just death, but anything that makes an impression on our spirit, we should be asking God, what are you saying to me through this happening? What are you saying to me? And so that is the recap of the first part of Sounding the Alarm. And so today we're just going to kind of dive into, why is it important that we have a relationship with God? Why should we seek to hear from him? And so, and I want to start off with John 3:16. A lot of people will say, all I have to do is believe. And because John 3:16 says that whosoever believes in him should not perish but have everlasting life. But I think we're missing what all entails in believing in God. I have two questions that I think we should think about, and that is, do we believe in all that God is? All that he is, all that makes God God. Do we believe all of that? And do we believe all that God does? All the things that he says that he will do? Do we believe all of that? Or are we just believing that, yes, Jesus is the Son of God, and we believe God. We believe that he is, and that's all. So that I think there's a big difference in just believing that, or actually believing who God is and what he does, his word. Okay? And because of these verses, James 2:9 says that the devil also believes and tremble. The devil also believes and tremble. And so we need to, get wisdom from the Word. Get to know God through His Word. Because we're going to find keys in there on why it is important that we actually know Him and that He knows us. And I want to continue to Luke 7:21. And it goes like this. And these verses, these next verses in Luke are talking about the believer, okay? Not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven. So I want to stop right there. I'm going to read on, but I want to just pause a little bit and ask this question. How will we know God's will for our life if we don't have a relationship with Him? In this verse, He's saying that not everyone that says, Lord, Lord, is going to enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doth the will of my Father which is in heaven. So if we want to do the will of the Father which is in heaven, we really do need to know. We need to know Him and to get guidance and leading for the will, His will for our life. And so, amen, Alex. I see that. Yes. Good. I'm glad to see you guys on here. And that reminds me, I need to come back to something in a second here. But verse 22 goes like this. Many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name? And in thy name have cast out devils, and in thy name done many wonderful works? And then I will profess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity. And people that work iniquity, they have no morals. Okay? And so that is the key. What he's saying in verse 23, that was verses 22 and 23 in Luke 7. I read 21 through 23. And so God is saying, I never knew you. He's saying this to these people that they were believers, right? That they were saying, Lord, Lord, and they were casting out devils, they were prophesying. And He's saying, I never knew you. And so, obviously, they thought they knew Him, right? And so that tells me it is so important that not to just pray to God and to tell Him everything and to, we're taught that a lot. Pray, pray, pray. But we need to stop and we need to listen. We need to hear from God. We need to hear from Him. If we're not hearing from Him, we don't have a relationship. And that is the only way that we, know people. Like let's just look at, the people around us. And how are our relationships? Okay, so our relationship with our Heavenly Father is not different from that. We need to. A relationship is built on hearing and talking to one another. You don't just have a relationship where it's one-sided, and you're just pouring into one person. It's a give and take, hearing and talking to each other. And so that's what we need with God. And so that is why it is so important to have a two-way relationship with God. That we talk to God and that we hear from God. Jeremiah 33:3. Jeremiah chapter 33, verse 3 says, call to me, I will answer you and show you great and mighty things which you do not know. And so I just wanted to talk about this tonight, to encourage you to keep seeking God. You know, if you are not hearing from Him, or maybe you have heard some things from Him, but you don't necessarily have a strong relationship where you hear from Him every day, I would encourage you to keep seeking God, keep making that space to hear from Him. And one thing that I will share with you that I do, and that is I will journal. I will read, worship, whatever, pray, and at some point I will make a time to hear and just listen and hear from God, and I journal about it. And you will find that as you do that and you go through life, that you just automatically kind of like reach out to God. God, what do I do in this situation? What should I do about this? And you will, it will grow, and you will have that more and more. And so, yes, just be encouraged. Keep seeking God until you hear from Him more and more. Oh, I also want to share, I heard these statistics on reading the Bible, and it's just so interesting, okay? So just take it as statistics. It can always vary from people to people, but people that read the Word at least 4 times in a week, 4 days out of the week, they find that those people are a people that the Word actually changes them. And if you read the Bible, maybe once, twice, or 3 times a week, it actually does not change you. And I found that so interesting. And I wish I could remember everything that was in that statistic. But one thing that I do remember is they said that, one way that it changes you is when you're just, doing life, you will talk about it more. Because it's changing you, and that really stuck with me, because there was a day when it wasn't easy for me to talk about the Word, and it did not come naturally. I would have to really put an effort into it. And so I see that those statistics are that they I would say they're pretty much on, because I can see how it was in my life. And so if you want to just grow and get more wisdom and be equipped with knowledge for life, that you are better equipped for the battles and the struggles, and walk into victory, walk into freedom, I encourage you to get in the Word, because it's gonna change you, and it's gonna make your life richer, so much richer. And so I love that. I just love that, and it's so true in my life. And so now I've been on here long enough that I don't remember, but I just want to thank you guys for the feedback that I got from the first video. And one question that came back to me was, what about a couple that lost a loved one? And like, what would you say? Because they were both believers. I think I did touch on this now that it's coming back to me, but I'm just gonna keep going for everybody who's coming in live still. They're both believers, they're grounded in the Word, and they experience a sudden death in their family. I would say definitely still ask that question, that key question. It's so good to always, anytime that you are going through something that is traumatic and it affects your spirit, to just pause and ask God, what are you saying to me? Because as we read through the Bible, through all these stories, and God always has a purpose and a plan. That was the thing. When I lost my brother, it grieved my spirit at the thought of his death being for nothing. Like, would God let something like this happen just for nothing? And so when I was just communicating with God and he gave me this, it made me feel so much better. And I had peace in knowing that God still had a purpose in this. That, like, it was not just happening. He had a purpose in doing this, and he wants to speak to us. He wants our attention, and so that is a key in knowing what God is doing in our day. What is he doing now? And we just need to look around, and we just need to talk to God. And the Word is so full of just testimonies, and it's encouraging to me to see what other people have gone through before us and what God was saying to them. And so he still speaks to us today. We can be confident of that. God is rock solid. God is the creator of everything. There's nobody on this earth that is ever going to create something that is better or more than God. He's the ultimate. He's the great I am. And so he's our greatest source. He's the highest power that we can access to get what we need. And he has everything that we need. And so I just want to encourage you guys to tap into that awesome source. And oh my goodness, now I am seeing that my one, I thought I was live on Instagram and I'm not. The joys of technology, I'm telling you. Okay, well, we'll just download this video later on there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'm glad for everyone that hopped on. And if you have any more questions on this subject, just message me or contact me somehow. Let me know, and I would be glad to hear what you have to say. I am going to, I actually don't have my paper with me on what my next week's topic is going to be. I guess you'll just have to hop back on and see what it is. But yes, I'm for sure going to have at least 2 or 3 more parts to this Sounding the Alarm series. So, all right. Thank you, Gina. So good to see you. Hugs to you. And I hope you guys all have a great evening, night, sleep well, and a great rest of your week. And I will hop back on next week, hopefully. And I'll let you guys go.